Have you ever felt a wave of distrust towards someone who hadn't actually done anything wrong? Scanned their words for a hidden motive, braced for a betrayal that never came, and then quietly wondered what was wrong with you for not being able to just relax and trust? We've all felt misunderstood in a relationship, but there's a particular exhaustion in not being able to trust, in watching your own guardedness push away the closeness you actually want, while a voice in your head calls you broken, paranoid, too much, or impossible to love. That's why this channel exists. At the Relationship Blueprint, we translate the patterns most people are ashamed of back into the language they were originally written in. And here is what I most need you to hear today. Your trust issues are not a malfunction. They are a message. Your nervous system is not broken. It is trying to tell you something specific, something it learned to keep you safe. And almost nobody has ever taught you how to read it. We're going to translate the 6 things your nervous system is actually trying to tell you when you feel that distrust. And message number 4 is the one that changes everything, because it's not about other people at all. It's the message almost everyone misses, and it's the real root of most trust issues. I'll show you what it is at minute 9. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what your trust issues are trying to protect you from, where each message came from, and how to finally answer your nervous system in a way that lets you trust again, without pretending the fear isn't there. Welcome back to the Relationship Blueprint. Subscribe if you're new video every week. If you've ever called yourself someone with trust issues, like it was a character flaw, this video is going to reframe that completely. Let's begin. Before we get to the 6 messages, one reframe that the entire video depends on, and that, on its own, has changed how a lot of people relate to themselves. What you call trust issues is not a defect in your character. It is an alarm system doing exactly the job it was built to do. Somewhere in your past, your nervous system learned that trusting led to pain through inconsistency, betrayal, abandonment, or something it watched happen to someone else. So, it built an alarm. And that alarm has been faithfully protecting you ever since, by going off whenever it detects anything that resembles the original danger. The problem is not that the alarm is broken. The problem is that it's too good at its job. It was calibrated during a time when the danger was real, and it never got the update telling it the danger has passed. So now it goes off in your current relationships, with people who haven't hurt you, over situations that aren't actually threats, because it's still scanning for a fire that happened a long time ago. Important reframe. Trust issues are not evidence that something is wrong with you. They are evidence that something happened to you, and that your nervous system adapted to survive it. The distrust you feel is not paranoia. It is protection that has outlived the threat it was built for. You don't need to fight your alarm system. You need to understand what it's trying to tell you, and then update it. This is grounded in decades of attachment research, going back to John Bowlby, who showed that our earliest relationships with caregivers shape how we trust for the rest of our lives. When those early bonds were inconsistent, frightening, or unsafe, the nervous system learns that closeness equals risk, and it carries that lesson forward into adulthood. Trauma researchers have shown the same thing from another angle. A nervous system that has survived betrayal stays hypervigilant, scanning for the next one long after the danger is gone. The body keeps the score, even when the mind has moved on. So we're going to do something different from most trust issues advice. Instead of trying to talk you out of your distrust, we're going to listen to it. Because every trust issue is a message, and each of the 6 messages is pointing at something real. Let's translate them. You are not paranoid, broken, or too much. You are carrying an alarm system that learned its job during a real fire, and has been protecting you so well that it never noticed the fire went out. The work is not to silence it. The work is to finally answer it. Stay until message 4. the one almost everyone misses. The first 3 messages are about other people. Message 4 is not about other people at all, and it's the real root of most trust issues. Until you hear this one, the others can't fully resolve. I'll show you what it is at minute 9. Message 1 of 6, people leave, stay ready. The abandonment message. What it feels like. Even when things are going well, part of you is braced for the other person to leave. You hold a little of yourself back. You notice every small sign of distance and read it as the beginning of the end. You sometimes leave first or pick a fight just to control the abandonment you're sure is coming anyway. What your nervous system is saying. Your nervous system is saying, the last time I let myself fully count on someone, they disappeared, so I will never again be caught unprepared. The distrust isn't about this person. It's a strategy to make sure that if they leave, it won't destroy you, because you never fully let them in. The science. This is the signature of anxious attachment, which research traces to inconsistent caregiving. A childhood where love was sometimes present and sometimes withdrawn, with no way to predict which. The nervous system adapts by staying hypervigilant to signs of abandonment, because vigilance once felt like the only protection against a loss you couldn't see coming. Here is how to answer it. Answer this message by naming it when it fires. This is my abandonment alarm, not evidence that they're leaving. Then look for the actual data. Has this person shown you, through consistent action, that they stay? The alarm reacts to the past. Your job is to gently point it at the present, where the evidence usually tells a different story. Message 2 of 6. Closeness costs you. Keep your distance. The engulfment message. What it feels like. When someone gets too close, you feel a subtle pressure, like you're losing yourself or about to be swallowed. You distrust their care a little, suspecting it comes with strings, with expectations, with a cost you'll be made to pay. So you keep a wall up, even with people who've earned the right to be let in. What your nervous system is saying. Your nervous system is saying, the last time I depended on someone, it cost me my freedom, my needs, or my sense of self, so I will not let anyone close enough to do that again. The distrust here isn't fear of betrayal, it's fear of being consumed. The science. This is the signature of avoidant attachment, which research links to early environments where reaching for closeness was met with rejection, intrusion, or being made responsible for someone else's emotions. The nervous system learned that the safest relationship is one where you never fully rely on anyone, and distrust became the wall that keeps closeness at a survivable distance. Here is how to answer it. Answer this message by distinguishing closeness from engulfment. Practice letting someone in by a small, deliberate increment, and notice that you don't actually disappear. The fear says, closeness will cost you yourself. Each time you allow a little intimacy and remain intact, you give your nervous system new evidence that connection and autonomy can coexist. Message 3 of 6. It happened before. It can happen again. The betrayal message. What it feels like. Someone actually broke your trust, cheated, lied, abandoned, manipulated, and a part of you never fully came back from it. Now you see the shape of that betrayal everywhere. A late reply, a vague answer, a closed door, and your whole body floods with the certainty that it's happening again, even when, rationally, you know this person is not that person. What your nervous system is saying. Your nervous system is saying, I missed the warning signs last time, and it nearly destroyed me. So I will never miss them again, even if that means seeing them where they don't exist. This is the message of a wound that was never fully repaired, still trying to protect you from a repeat of the worst thing that happened to you. The science. Research on betrayal trauma shows that a significant trust violation creates lasting emotional barriers and a hypervigilant nervous system that links closeness with danger. The brain, having learned that trust led to devastation, becomes exquisitely sensitive to any cue that resembles the original betrayal, firing the alarm on resemblance alone, because resemblance once meant survival. Here is how to answer it. Answer this message by honoring the wound without letting it run the present. The betrayal was real, and your caution makes sense. But this person is not the one who hurt you, and treating them as if they were slowly recreates the very disconnection you fear. Repairing betrayal trauma usually needs support. A therapist who can help your nervous system finish processing what happened, so the alarm stops firing on the innocent. Quick pause. If message 3 landed hard, if there's a real betrayal underneath your trust issues that's never fully healed, please hear me. That is exactly the kind of wound a good therapist is trained to help you process, and you do not have to do it alone. I'll put some ways to find one, including low-cost options, in the description. Now, message 4. The one almost everyone misses, and the real root of it all. Message 4 of 6. You stop trusting yourself. The message almost everyone misses. Message 4. The one I told you almost everyone misses. Slow down here, because this is the message underneath the other 3. And until you hear it, the others can't fully resolve. Everyone thinks trust issues are about not being able to trust other people. But underneath almost every trust issue is a deeper, quieter rupture that nobody talks about. You stopped trusting yourself. What it feels like. Underneath the fear of being betrayed by them is a fear you rarely say out loud, that if it happened, you wouldn't survive it, wouldn't see it coming, wouldn't be able to handle it. You don't just distrust other people, you distrust your own judgment, your own read on situations, your own ability to recover if it all goes wrong. What your nervous system is saying. Your nervous system is saying, last time I trusted my own judgment, and I was wrong. I missed the signs, I ignored my gut, I stayed too long, and it cost me everything, so I can't trust my own perception anymore. The deepest trust that broke was not your trust in them. It was your trust in yourself to choose well, to see clearly, and to survive being hurt. This is why message 4 is the root. Think about what trust actually requires. When you trust someone, you're not really making a claim about them. You can never fully know what another person will do. What you're actually doing is making a claim about yourself. That if they let you down, you will see it, handle it, and be okay. Trust in others is built on a foundation of trust in yourself. And when that foundation cracks, when you stop believing you can read people, honor your own boundaries, or survive being hurt, then no amount of reassurance from another person can make you feel safe. Because the person you don't trust isn't them, it's you. This is why people with trust issues often can't be reassured no matter how trustworthy their partner is. They're looking for certainty about the other person, when the missing piece is confidence in themselves. You can give them all the proof in the world that their partner is faithful, and the fear stays, because the fear was never really about the partner. It was about whether they could trust themselves to handle it if the partner wasn't. The science. Attachment researchers describe secure attachment as resting on 2 pillars: a positive model of others and a positive model of the self. Most trust issues advice only addresses the first. But the self-model, the belief that you are worthy of love and capable of handling life's difficulties, is what lets a person extend trust without being destabilized by the risk. Rebuilding self-trust is the foundation that makes trusting others possible. It is the part almost everyone skips. So here is the question that unlocks this whole video. Instead of asking, "Can I trust them?" which keeps you scanning another person for certainty you can never get, start asking, "Do I trust myself to handle it if I'm wrong about them?" That question puts the power back where it belongs, because you can never control whether someone betrays you, but you can rebuild your faith in your own ability to see clearly, set boundaries, and survive. And the moment you start trusting yourself again, trusting other people stops feeling so dangerous, because the stakes change. The risk is no longer annihilation. It's just disappointment, which you now know you can survive. Here is how to answer it. Answer this message by rebuilding self-trust in small, concrete ways. Keep promises to yourself. Honor your own boundaries, even when it's uncomfortable. And notice the times your gut was actually right. Every time you back yourself, you rebuild the foundation. Trusting others gets easier, not when you find someone perfectly trustworthy, but when you become someone you trust to handle whatever happens. The deepest trust that broke was your trust in yourself, to see clearly, to choose well, to survive being hurt. This is why reassurance from others never fully works. The person you most need to learn to trust again is you. Rebuild that, and trusting others stops feeling like standing at the edge of a cliff. Message 5 of 6. The danger is over. The body didn't get the memo. The hypervigilance message. What it feels like. Your distrust isn't just a thought. It's physical. A tightness in your chest, a clench in your stomach, a sudden alertness when someone gets close. Your body reacts as if it's in danger, even when your mind knows rationally that it's safe. You can't think your way out of it, because it isn't happening in your thoughts. It's happening in your body. What your nervous system is saying. Your nervous system is saying, "I am still in the threat. The danger that taught me to brace like this never got resolved, so I am still bracing." The hypervigilance is a body that survived something and never received the signal that it's allowed to stand down. It is protecting you from a danger that, in the present, is already over. The science. Trauma research, including the work of Bessel van der Kolk, shows that overwhelming experiences are stored in the body and the nervous system, not just in conscious memory. A hypervigilant nervous system keeps firing threat responses long after the danger has passed, because the body never completed the process of registering that it survived. This is why trust issues so often feel physical. Because they are. Here is how to answer it. Answer this message in the body, not just the mind. Slow breathing, grounding, noticing 5 things you can see. These signal to your nervous system that you are safe right now. You cannot reason a body out of a threat response, but you can show it, through the senses, that the present is not the past. Somatic and body-based therapies exist precisely for this, and they help where talk alone often can't reach. Message 6 of 6. You're guarding the exact thing you want most, the paradox message. What it feels like. Here's the cruelest part. The wall you built to protect yourself from being hurt is the same wall keeping out the love you most want. Your trust issues guard you from betrayal and from intimacy, closeness, and being truly known. You end up alone behind a wall built to keep you safe, aching for the very thing the wall keeps out. What your nervous system is saying. Your nervous system is saying, connection is the thing that hurt me, so I must guard against connection. But connection is also the thing you need most. And so the protection has become the prison. The alarm meant to keep you safe is now keeping you from the one thing that would actually heal you. A safe, trusted bond. The science. This is the central paradox of insecure attachment. The protective strategies that once kept you safe now block the corrective experiences that would update your nervous system. Research on earned secure attachment shows the way out. It's through relationships, with a therapist, a trusted friend, a patient partner, where you risk a small amount of trust and have it honored, slowly teaching your nervous system that connection can be safe after all. Here is how to answer it. Answer this message by recognizing the wall for what it is. Not your enemy, but an old protector that has outlived its usefulness. You don't tear it down all at once. You lower it by increments, with people who've earned it, letting in connection in doses your nervous system can tolerate. Each safe experience of trust is a brick removed. The wall came down the same way it went up. Slowly, one experience at a time. 6 messages. And underneath all of them, one shift that changes your whole relationship to your trust issues. Stop trying to silence the alarm. Start trying to understand it. Most advice about trust issues treats them as a problem to be eliminated. Just trust more. Just let your guard down. Just stop being so guarded. But you can't shame or force a nervous system into safety. The alarm went up for a reason, and it won't come down until it believes the reason has passed. So instead of fighting it, do these 4 things. 1. Name the message when it fires. When the distrust rises, ask, which of the 6 is this? Abandonment, engulfment, betrayal, self-trust, hypervigilance, the paradox? Naming it converts a flood of fear into a piece of information, and information you can work with. 2. Thank it, then check it against the present. The alarm is trying to protect you. You don't have to hate it. Thank it. Then ask whether the danger it's warning about is actually here, now, or whether it's an echo of the past. Most of the time, it's an echo. 3. Rebuild self-trust first. Remember message 4, the root. Keep promises to yourself. Honor your own boundaries. Back your own judgment. The more you trust yourself to handle being hurt, the less terrifying it becomes to trust someone else. 4. Lower the wall by increments with the right people. You don't heal trust issues by trusting recklessly. You heal them by risking small amounts of trust with people who've earned it, and letting the safe experiences slowly accumulate. Each one is evidence your nervous system can use to finally update the alarm. Your trust issues are not a wall you have to demolish. They're an alarm you get to update by understanding what it's protecting you from, rebuilding trust in yourself first, and letting safe connections slowly teach your body that the fire went out a long time ago. If you've watched this far, I want you to take one thing with you above everything else. You are not broken. You never were. You are someone whose nervous system did an extraordinary job of protecting you through something that was genuinely hard, and is still doing that job a little too well because it loves you and it hasn't yet learned that it's allowed to rest. That's not a character flaw. That's a survival system that worked. The healing isn't about becoming a different person. It's about gently telling that system, thank you, and we're safe now. Here's where to go next. Trust issues almost always trace back to your attachment style, the specific way your nervous system learned to bond or to brace. The messages you recognize most in this video point directly to it. And the single most useful thing you can do to understand your trust issues at the root is to understand how you give and receive love and safety, which is exactly what the love languages framework reveals. It's the practical foundation underneath everything we covered today. If you want to start rebuilding trust in others and in yourself, the love languages video is the most direct next step. Watch it next. It's the conversation underneath this one. Subscribe to the Relationship Blueprint. New video every week. Your trust issues were never proof that something was wrong with you. They were proof that you survived. And what survives can also heal. I'll see you in the next one.